All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Angelo Carlos podcast. I'm here with my guest, Ben. Ben is actually a FAANG employee turned YC employee, one of the best and smartest kind of engineers and technical people I've met, as well as one of the most best business minds I've met at UCLA Anderson. Super honored to have Ben as a guest. Ben's went to Cal Poly Slow, worked at companies like Microsoft, Uber, as well as Netflix. So he hit the whole big tech sector. Now he is at VELT, working on a YC company, which is a Y. For those of you who are curious, Y Combinator, one of the best accelerators, one of the best kind of programs. A lot of big companies like Coinbase, like Stripe, they've all come from YC, and now Ben is a part of VELT. So we're super excited to have him on board and kind of just learn a bit more about Ben, his career, and Ben, welcome to the podcast, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, thanks for inviting me, Angelo. I'm really excited to be here. This is actually the first podcast I've ever done, so
Oh,
it's a first
really?
for me.
Sir, it is an honor. Thank you so much that you picked me, bro. That's awesome. So, we're gonna actually go into your career. I just want to just dive in right now. Ben's resume is super fascinating. He's worked on so many great projects and programs. But can you tell us, Ben, like where did you go to undergrad and what was your major there?
Sure. So I went to Cal Poly Slow for my undergrad, and initially I started off as an electrical engineering major, but 2 years in, I switched to computer engineering because some of the upperclassmen said that was where the future was headed. And along the way, I thought that maybe I made a mistake because I was behind the other computer science students. So I actually switched my major back to electrical engineering, but then somehow I got a job as a program manager at Microsoft. So
Oh, wow.
I just graduated with a computer engineering degree and went off into the workforce.
You know, it's pretty crazy. I've had friends who just graduated from Stanford, and then they were getting jobs as program managers at Microsoft as well out in Redmond. They say they learned a ton out there in Microsoft. Were you locally? Were you local in Redmond, or were you in the kind of Bay Area office?
I was in Redmond.
And how was Redmond? How was that culture like? I'm assuming the CEO. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the CEO. Who is the CEO again for Microsoft?
Satya Nadella.
Yeah, was Satya the CEO at that time?
Yeah, so I actually interned there my junior year of college, and that was the first year Satya took over. So there was a lot of excitement about how he was going to change things. There were some, bad parts of the old Microsoft culture, like stack ranking and just kind of a boring old corporate culture that
Mm.
people, they were really looking forward to a refresh with Satya.
Yeah, that's exciting, and it's kind of crazy to see how great of a leader Satya has become since kind of taking the helm of Microsoft, especially with the acquisition of course, of OpenAI and ChatGPT. Not acquisition, more so the partnership with them. So it's kind of really cool to see you kind of being on the early days of Satya as leader and just seeing things shake up. What did you do at Microsoft during your time there?
Yeah, so I joined a new group that was being formed, and I didn't know what team I was joining. I just signed up for an internship. They said I was joining some group under sales and marketing. I had no clue, but it was this new division that was created to create online training courses on Microsoft products, Microsoft technologies, and
Mm.
I was hired to essentially stand in front of a camera and make videos showing how cool Microsoft technologies are. So I would, stand with the laptop, I would code demos. We
Oh,
had a
wow.
whole like $1 million studio and like an actual film editing team to support us. So I just kind of was there to entertain and create make some cool demos. And that was a lot of fun for a first job.
That's so cool, man. What was that like? Did you kind of for teams usually, I know most people at Google, it would be like team match. You kind of just on a random team, whatever team wants to pick you up, you join that team. Was that similar for Microsoft where you kind of have that team matching process and you're just like, all right, good luck. This is the team you got.
Um, Sort of. So the story was I applied and then I did the first round interview, but then I got an email saying, "Oh, sorry, we ran out of spots.
Oh,
Maybe
wow.
we'll get in touch next year." So then I was like, "Okay." Um, then I went. That's when I kind of like almost gave up and like I decided to almost join like a semiconductor company. But then a couple months later in like May, and most internships like happen in the fall, so May is really late.
Mhm.
I just got an email saying, "Oh, a spot opened up in this new team." do you want to fly in for an interview? And then, so yeah, I took the chance, and then that's how I got matched with this team. It was just a spot opened up last minute because the team was being formed around that time.
That's so cool. Any kind of key insights you learned during your time at Microsoft? Most people, it's kind of hard to get into big tech, especially right out of undergrad. What did you kind of learn during your time there?
Let's see. What did I learn at my time at Microsoft? I think Satya would say something, he said something really important that kind of stays with me. If he said to think about, people always ask like, what can the company, what can you do for the company?